My name is Ted Sass. I live in Omaha, Nebraska, and thank you for taking a few of your minutes to view my video about my project, Drone Projects USA. I've been a salesperson all of my life. I started selling when I was 8 years old, growing up in Norfolk, Nebraska, selling box greeting cards door to door. And when I went through high school, I was tested by my guidance counselor, Paul McIntosh, and that was in, I think, about 1956 or 57 maybe. And he called me into his office after he got the test on my, they give you these personality tests, and he looked me in the eye and he said, "Sass, there's only one thing for you to do when you get out of school." And he said, "That forget about college. You just go out and sell. Go out and get yourself a job selling and work hard." And he says, "I tested a lot of people, and he said you definitely have a persuasive personality." And I've been tested since then by a major insurance company. In fact, I think the largest insurance company in America. And I work for the Nebraska Association of Blue Cross Blue Shield. They had a lady from Chicago come in and do a battery of tests on me when they created the director of sales position for me. They asked me to take that position after I'd been with them a couple of years. But she told me that she had tested people for years and with different personality traits related to selling and marketing and so forth. And she said that I had tested higher than anybody she had ever tested. She'd been testing people, she said, for over 20 years. So I really wasn't surprised to hear that. I was when Paul McIntosh told it to me, but by the time the lady told me that was in 1993 or 1992. So that was about 40 years later, or 30 some years later. And so I wasn't surprised to hear her say that because I had worked with people for many decades by that time, and I knew that if I could ever get somebody to sit down and listen to me, I'd get them around to my way of thinking. And because I'd been doing that consistently for the different sales jobs and so forth that I had through the years. Now, I stopped traveling on the road in the late 90s because I could see the internet coming strong, and I knew that I could get a lot more done on the internet if I could just learn how to use the internet to do my selling. So, you know, this is now, say, 17, 18, 19 years later, and I'm still working at it. But in the process, I met a gentleman. One time I was up at, I think it was in about, in the late 90s. It was right before I quit traveling on the road. Or before I got my last sales job out of Sioux City. It's ironic. The last real traveling sales job that I had was selling box greeting cards, uh, or not box greeting cards, but yeah, I sold box too. But greeting cards for a Gibson distributor out of Sioux City, Iowa. I covered about 5 states, but I set up new accounts for that distributor. I did a terrific job and worked for Bill Hipsch and Dorothy Hipsch, and they were just fantastic people. And Bill was a genius, a marketing genius, and he had developed a system of selling greeting cards in small communities. And so Gibson became very interested in that and set him up as a distributor. And so I went out and opened up new accounts for the company. But anyway, when I was on a sales trip up in Pierre, South Dakota, I met a gentleman by the name of Bob Schwellenbach, okay? And Bob was an interesting fellow. He was a construction guy. He operated a crane, just a sweetheart of a guy, wonderful. And Bob, I think, was in his late 70s when I met him, and that was, like I say, in the 90s. And but he told me about a Flex Home, that he had built the original prototype of Flex Home, and you see the video here on the previous page. And then I needed to get a little conversation going about the plans that I want to put in and implement to build a brand that concept and brand it as my drone MAV brand, drone MAV, and that is Mobile Advantage Vehicle. And I'm planning on using that drone MAV vehicle to get into communities. And I've got a brand that I've recently adopted called Coast to Coast Cash, and Truck Cash USA, because I want to pull a trailing wheeled vehicle, a drone MAV, as a promotional event, moving from city to city across the United States and setting up business associate memberships for local independent business owners, city by city, as I go down the highway and pull into the city with that vehicle and the unique aspects of it related to the way that you can do the wheelie with it, go underneath the unit like you see in the video, and different aspects of it. Or if I don't get that elaborate, I can always just go down to a like a van type, four-wheel van type vehicle with the labeling on the side, the wrap on the truck to do the advertising. The concept is to be able to move from city to city. Hopefully I'll be able to promote the idea of the drone MAV, because then I can have living quarters inside of the drone MAV, so that I won't have the motel expense. And I don't really like eating in restaurants anyway, so I'd be able to have a kitchen in the drone MAV and be able to eat make my own food that way. But it costs $500 a week or so to live in motels and eat out, and at least that much today, maybe a little more today. But a few years back when I was doing it, it cost me $500 a week to stay on the road Monday through Friday. And but my concept of the business plan that I've put together, that's otherwise described on some other videos that I've produced, is to develop a new customer development program for local independent business owners, and organize the memberships by chapter cities. And then I organize the chapter cities by zip codes. And then I have a program called Weekly Cash Awards that is exclusive to those business members, and I only sell one category of business per zip code. So the fund that each one of the categories generates by the investment in the business plan is used for, half of it is used for the weekly cash awards. So when customers go out to spend their money during the day, like of a lunchtime or after work, or doing shopping on any one of the categories of business, the idea is if they're going to say to themselves, well, as long as I'm going to be spending my money, I just won't go spend it at a business that offers me weekly cash awards, and rather than go to a business that doesn't offer weekly cash awards. So that's the concept. And the drone mobile advantage vehicle is a means to an end for me to do direct selling in the cities, to organize the chapter memberships, to generate the program across the country, and do it in a way that's more personal. And I could do it on the telephone, call these business owners on the phone, but I never really have liked that approach. I know it's effective, but I've always been face-to-face in my selling all through my career, and that's the way it's most effective. And so that's the way I want to get this thing going. And as I perfect the sales program, then of course I've been hiring. I was field promoted to district sales manager for a national company when I was 23 years old, after I'd only been with them a couple of years. And so, and I've been doing sales recruiting, sales management, general sales management for many years. I've built sales forces. I've built national sales forces that generated millions of dollars worth of business. And so I know how to do that, but I want to get out personally myself first, and perfect the sales plan, so that when I bring a man on or a lady on, I can train her and train him on how, the most effective way to do it, and I can show them my results so they can get some confidence in what I'm training them on. See. So just wanted to get all that information out in this little video here, and then start the drone projects, because this will be a separate project to create the vehicle, the drone MAV, and then for the people who are, I have a concept I call crowd selling USA. That is similar to, you're maybe familiar with the crowd funding, but I don't like that approach. That, to me, that's like a tin cup way to start a business. I like the idea of crowd selling, because with the crowd funding, the people that donate because they like the particular green product or the unusual product, whatever it is that they're crowdfunding, they're trying to raise the money to get the business started. When they do get it started, they still are confronted with selling it. They've still got to market it. So when I bring in a crowd selling associates that fund the project, then there is an avenue for them to purchase or to share in the profits. I have it set up so that the crowd selling USA associates on a particular drone project, like Drone MAV, they're able to share the group of them that crowd sell USA the drone MAV. They share in 85% of the profits of the sale of those units, because obviously if the drone MAV gets attention and is successful for me to use as a over-the-road marketing, mobile marketing vehicle, it'll be very successful for other companies too. Smaller companies that can't afford to have the big 18-wheeler mobile marketing units that are out. You see them parked at big events and big trade shows and things like that. But you're looking at $1 million plus to put an 18-wheeler with a big trailer on the end of it. But if you get this, a drone MAV down to in the area of 100,000 or less, that's a product that can be sold to the tens of thousands of small businesses that will see it as a value. And I'll have the testimony and the videos that'll show the success of me breaking it in when I developed the sales program for my Rainbow Business Directory Chapter City membership program for local independent business owners, city to city. So that's a concept. So when you look at this thing, I've got it set up so that the drone MAV associates, crowd selling associates, can come in and take a position for under $500, okay, and still share in 85% of the profit with all the drone MAV, drone association USA drone projects associated members in the drone MAV project. Whereas the other crowdfunding, they say thank you for a donation, or they might give them a little trinket, or something. But that's about the only thing the donors get. Whereas here they actually share in the profit of the marketing. And just so you know, I want to keep everything out in the open and fully disclosed. And so I created a brand called CPA Verified and CPA Audits Online. So on all my programs, wherever there's money involved, where I promote the idea of people putting their invested dollars into something, whether it's the local independent business owners or whether it's in my drone projects USA, people want to know that their money it isn't a scam, And so I come up with the idea to have, as part of the cost of the project, have a contractor that's a certified public accountant. And the certified public accountant runs an audit on all of the project income that the associates take a position with an investment as an associate member. And the CPA runs an audit on all that money and runs an audit on all the expenses related to the project. And the unit's got to be built, and so I've got 2 contractors that are lined up, and so they have a cost that they identify and invoice, and then that CPA uses that, and any other expenses related to the project development are audited, and then the CPA, the certified public accountants, state licensed, publishes a financial audit online. And then as the income, when the prototype that I'll be using is used as a sales tool, and sales lots are developed as dealerships progress, then the CPA runs an audit on all the income from those dealerships and all from the sales and the cost of the units, and then the operating profit is shared 85% by the associates that got the program going in the first place. And that's kept going with, after I pass, that's kept going through my estate. So that the model is according to the way I organized it and founded it and originated it, so that a CPA is always going to be doing the audit on all the sales and the cost of sales, and then showing the operating profit. And then the originators of the project will share 85% of the operating income. So you get something back. Plus, who knows, many people that own a business might want to buy one of those and be able to buy it. And then that's another aspect that I have. All the people that take a position, if they happen to be a business owner, they're able to get the drone MAV at cost. So that's another benefit. So I have a lot of other things I could say, but I think I should close this off now. It's already been going here for, oh my goodness, yeah, 19 minutes already. Time goes fast when you're having fun. Well, thank you for watching, and I got my email address there on the web page. So if you have any questions, and I've got a way for you to sign up for our email, update system, so that as this thing progresses, maybe you don't want to jump in now, but as it progresses and you see it's successful as going down as reporting on the website, then you may decide you want to jump in at some time up in the future, and because you see the success of it coming on stream. So it'll be important for you to get the various newsletters and that will come out, and if you just register there on the forum, then you'll be able to get the regular updated emails. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I'll be talking to you, and I hope to meet you sometime. Thank you.